Hello, little scratchers. Welcome back to the next lesson about Scratch programming.
So, imagine you're chilling at home and suddenly your mom shouts your name, Jessie! What do? You jump up and say, "Yes, please, Mommy?" Well, guess what? Sprites and Scratch can do the same. You press a button, boom, they move. You click on them, bam, they change color. Magic, right? Well, not exactly magic. It's all thanks to something called the events block. The events block is like the brain of your Scratch project. It listens for signals, like when the green flag is clicked or a key is pressed, and then tells your sprite, "Hey, time to do something." Think of it like this. Events blocks are the remote controls that tell your sprites what to do and when to do it. If you click on a sprite, something happens. If you press a key, something else happens. And today's lesson, we're going to see it in action with a fun little project called the Cat and Mouse Game. In this game, when you click on the cat sprite, it doesn't just sit there looking cute. No way! It meows and then secretly sends a message to the mouse sprite. And guess what the mouse does? It hears that message and takes off running for its dear life across the screen like someone's chasing it. Cool, right? This lesson is going to be super fun because we're not just going to stare at code. Nope, we're going to use events to make your sprites come to life. You're in control now. You're the boss. Your sprites are waiting for your command. So, are you ready to discover the blocks that make everything happen? Let's jump right in and bring your project to life. Excited? Me too! Let's get started. First things first, open Scratch and create a new project. As always, our dear Scratch cat is already waiting on the stage. Lucky for us, we actually need the cat today, so no need to delete it like in past lessons. But we do need one more sprite, the mouse. Click on the Choose a Sprite button and search for Mouse. Find one you like and click on it. It should now appear on the stage. You can also add a fun backdrop if you want to make things interesting. Click on the Choose a Backdrop icon and select something that makes sense, like maybe a garden, a room, or even a kitchen. But hey, please don't pick a swimming pool. Cats hate water. And no, we're not playing tag on the moon either, unless your mouse is an astronaut. All right, now here's something really important. Make sure the cat sprite is selected before you start adding blocks. I mean it. If you're clicked on the mouse sprite by mistake and then you add all the cat code there, your game's gonna go bananas. Imagine a mouse meowing and a cat running away in fear? That would be hilarious, but completely wrong. To be sure which sprite you're coding, look at the top left corner of the code area. There's a faint little preview of the sprite. That's your clue. If you see the cat there, you're good. If not, switch to the cat. All right, now that our cat is ready for action, let's start programming. From the Events category, drag out the block that says When Green Flag Clicked. This tells Scratch, start the game when the green flag is clicked. Now go to the Looks category and grab the block that says Say Hello for 2 seconds. Replace the word hello with something more fun like Click me to play. You can change the number of seconds if you want the message to stay on the screen, maybe 3 or 4 seconds. This way, when the game starts, the cat politely asks the player to click on it. Very classy. Now, we need the cat to react when it's actually clicked. Back in the Events category, drag out When this sprite clicked. This means, hey, Scratch, when the player clicks on the cat, run the code that follows. Now go to the sound category and get the block that says play sound meow until done. Drop that right under. Now, when you click the cat, it will proudly let out a loud meow. But guess what? The meow is not just a noise, it's a secret message too. Time to create a broadcast. Drag the Broadcast Message 1 block from the Events category and place it under the Meow block. But hang on, we don't want it to say Message 1. Let's give it a better name. Click the drop-down arrow and select New Message. In the pop-up box, type Meow and click OK. Now your block should say Broadcast Meow. This is like the cat shouting out meow to all the other sprites. And guess what? Only the mouse is listening. Cool, huh? Alrighty, we're done with the cat. Give it a paw 5. Now let's switch to the mouse. Again, check that the mouse is selected by looking at the top corner. Click on the mouse sprite to start coding. First, we want to make sure that every time the green flag is clicked, the mouse goes back to its starting point, just like resetting the game. So, drag out when green flag clicked from the Events category. Then go to the Motion category and get the Go to X and Y block. Now, move your mouse sprite to the spot where you want it to begin, maybe somewhere on the left or center of the screen. When you drag it, the X and Y values would change automatically. Use those exact values in the block so the mouse always starts from the same place. All right, now let's make the mouse respond when it hears the cat's meow. From the Events category, drag out When I Receive Meow. This is like the mouse saying, wait, did I just hear something? Under it, drag a Wait 2 seconds block from the Control category. Why wait 2 seconds? Well, we want the player to hear the cat meow first before the mouse starts moving. After the wait, we want the mouse to start moving, but we don't want it to teleport. We want it to glide across the screen like it's really running. Then from Control, drag Repeat 110, and from Motion, put Change X by 1 inside that repeat block. Now, what does this mean? Every time the loop runs, the mouse will move 1 step to the right. If it repeats 110 times, it'll look like a smooth run. Want it to move faster? Increase the step size. Want it to move less? Lower the repeat count. You're the director here. Let's add some life to the mouse's movement. We want the mouse to also switch costumes as it runs, kinda like it's actually running with bouncing feet. From the Events category again, drag When I Receive Meow. Yes, another one. It's totally fine to have more than one. Under it, drop another Wait 2 seconds block so the costume change happens at the same time as the motion. Then from Control, drag Repeat 25, and from Looks, put Next Costume inside that loop. Now what does this do? This will flip through the mouse's costumes while it runs, making it look alive, like a real chase. Finally, drop a Wait 1 second block under the repeat loop, just to pause a bit before the game resets or continues. And just like that, we've made a cat that meows and a mouse that runs for its dear life when it hears the sound. Let's quickly go over what we've done. We use the green flag to start the game. The cat says, "Click me to play." When clicked, the cat meows and sends a secret message to the mouse. The mouse waits a bit, then runs across the screen while flipping costumes to look animated. All of this controlled by events blocks. These blocks are your game's ears. They listen for clicks, keys, and messages. And when something happens, they tell the sprites, time to go. That's the power of events. They make your project interactive, surprising, and full of fun. See you in the next lesson. Get ready to code even more magic.